Little podcast Big World Little People fans suspect Isabel Roloff is launching a podcast after the star dropped major clue on social media. Isabel Roloff sounds like she is interested in starting a podcast, again. After teasing fans in the past, the Little People, Big World star shared in her Instagram stories that she was thinking again of trying the broadcasting genre. After cryptically asking online what topic or subject fans would like to hear discussed in podcast form, the new mom admitted she's considering giving it another go. She shared, "To be honest, last year I was going to release my podcast, but I got cold feet. I told myself stories like, would anyone care what I have to say? Or, there are enough podcasts in the world already." But after seeing a graph of how few podcasts there apparently are compared to larger platforms like YouTube, Isabel started to think twice. "The truth is, no one might care," she continued. "But it's been pulling at my heart to do it for so long, so I should do it. If not for myself, for the one person who could benefit from hearing a story different than theirs. Or for the cathartic purpose of telling my own stories. I've always fancied myself a storyteller." Previous podcast promises. The promise of a new podcast follows the failure to see on through in 2020. At the time, Isabel announced she was launching a podcast with the goal of baring her soul to others. The now 25-year-old intended to call it the Soul Stories Podcast and described it as a place where we can talk about anything under the sun, where we share our stories and bare our souls. Isabel is now at no loss of topics to talk about, especially after the reality star gave birth to her first child in November 2021. The mother of one has been candid about her early days of motherhood and admitted her postpartum experience has been tough. Postpartum problems. Earlier this month, Isabel took to her Instagram story to open up to fans in a couple of personal posts. She wrote, "I have had some postpartum anxiety, of course, but I think that's really normal as a first-time mom." The LPPW alum then urged those that suffering in any capacity to have safety measures in place and be prepared for any variation of experience during the postpartum period. In a following story, the TLC star wrote, "I am speaking mostly emotionally and mentally here, but did I mention being grateful for the abilities to go on walks? With that said, physically I see a long road to recovery ahead of me. I'm only 5 weeks postpartum, but I'm in a lot of pain still." She concluded, "We're still deeply healing over here, but still so much gratitude for the whole journey." Isabel had previously stated in another story that she was expecting the postpartum period to be a lot harder for me since I struggle with depression and anxiety so much in the past. But I had a relatively stable pregnancy, and now the same goes for postpartum.